Yo, what's good? It's your boy King Haas, so I'm direct. You tune into another episode of 90.3 FM Late Night New York WHCR. And right now, man, I got my dude Knack in the building.
What's good, my dude?
Manager.
How you?
This dude, jack of all trades, man. Entrepreneur, manager, mental health activist, model, man. Does everything, man. So, man, I appreciate you, man. We've been trying to get your artists on the show for a little while, but you know we was able to make that connect us yet, so we got you here. But he, shout out to Carlito Black, by the way.
Shout out to my artist Carlito Black.
You know what I mean? He's gonna be up here soon. You're about to hit. You're gonna hear some of his music as soon as we finish this interview or whatever. For those who's listening on audio. So first and foremost, bro, you know what I mean? I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you for having me up here, bro.
I never knew you from back in the day. I knew you was running around doing different things, but I never knew you was involved in management, man. So let's talk about that, man. I know you always been a hip hop head.
Yeah, definitely.
From day one. You've been around it from day one. So what made you want to get involved in management?
To be honest, I dealt with music. I dibbled and dabbled in, like, back in the early 2000s. I had a team. Shout out to my team, my Stars Inc. crew. Shout out to Heck, Finesse, and the rest of the whole Stars Inc. entertainment crew. That'll forever be my team, you know what I mean? They taught me a lot. You know what I mean? I didn't have so much say-so at that time with the music because of my role. So when I got the opportunity to be a boss and I seen what we did wrong, I said, when I get the opportunity to run something, I'm gonna do it this way. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
Dope. See, people don't understand the trials and tribulations of being a manager and being involved in management. They look on the outside looking in and think that it's all sweet. They don't understand that, it's a lot of headaches. You're dealing with promoters, you're dealing with, you're dealing with personalities, you're dealing with different things, man. So just the people who do want to get involved, man, break down the pros and cons of being involved in management.
That's a good ass question. Good question. Like where do we start? You gotta have the love for it though. If you're doing it for $1, this ain't the game for you. You feel what I'm saying? I do this for the love. I do this for not even the name, for the legacy. You know what I mean? I'm not just doing it. Like, when I do it, I want to do something. That's why I'm taking my time with it. Carlito and I, my artist, we speak every day about it. We're like brothers. You know what I mean? Like, I'm his big brother, he's my little brother. Yes, we have altercations over the music because we're passionate about stuff.
Of course.
But if you're not dedicated, you don't have the love for it. I advise you not to even get into it. To be honest with you. Don't go in and just say, I want the money, because that money may come 10 years later,
Understood.
You know what I mean? Be willing to invest. You got to invest your own money. You know what I mean? It's going to maybe have some sleepless nights, because I have many of those, Like I told off camera, I told you, a little bit about my future upcoming trips to France. You know what I mean?
Okay. So. See, before we get into that, I want to go ahead and dive a little deeper. Like, people don't understand, like, when it comes to management, the time, the effort, the dedication, like you said, you have to have a love for it. It has to be organic. And if you think you're gonna get a quick dollar out the entertainment industry, then, you're gonna fold within the first 6 months to a year. You know what I'm saying? So, let the people know the importance of originality, being organic, and authenticity when it comes to this game.
Oh, I love being authentic. It separates you from everyone else.
Facts.
Your style, just the way you handle things. You're asking these questions. That means you pay attention. That's good. Because what we do a little things a lot differently. It's a lot of smaller. Shout out to all the small platforms out there. Even though you guys, anybody small trying to come up, I love you guys. You know what I mean? Because those are the ones that broke my artists.
The foundation.
Yeah, because I was going to everybody who's trying to come up together. I can go to the bigger stations, but they're doing the same thing. They already established, so they don't really care. Give me the money. That's what they're about. If somebody just saying, yo, how much you willing to pay, that means they don't really care too much about you. You know what I mean? I'm willing to work with anybody who's willing to work. If you're listening to this right now, hit my Instagram up, NAKSTARZ, the number 1, Knack Stars. Hit me up. We could talk about anything. Anything you want to talk about business related. I'm not the mastermind just yet, but I'm working diligently to make a future for my family.
See, that's what I'm talking about, growth. Growth and development. you know, and you get it, you understand it. It's about people growing together, what have you. You know, a lot of times people come in this thing, like I give you an example, short story, very short, of a female artist that I know, and she's talented as hell. But she thought she was gonna come in this thing in 6 months to a year, just go ahead and blow up, and you know, I'm like, nah, it's not like that. I mean, you might have to strike like baseball. You might have to strike out 100 times just to get that home run the 101st time. But that 101st time you hit the home run, it's gonna make up for all the 100 other times that you went ahead and struck out or whatever.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like Lola Brooke is like the perfect example. Like that record, we heard that record like over 2 years ago.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I actually saw her perform it. Yeah, like over 2 years ago.
Yeah. So to see the growth, she had to literally, took her 2 years to work that one record to get to the point where she's at right now. It's not gonna happen overnight. You know, if you think it's happening overnight, you got bugging. You know what I mean? So I say that to say, for well, you kind of already touched on it, man. But you know, just a little bit more for artists. You know, like what do you look for in the artist? You know,
Hunger. I want to see that hunger. You know, honestly, at this current time, as much work as I'm doing, I'm looking for other artists. You know, my team and I actually are looking for other artists. I feel like Carlito's at a point right now where at any given day, he's out of here, you know what I mean? Because, you know, we done, like I told everybody, we turned down several deals. Yeah, boy, like I said, it's not all about the money. You know, a lot of things have to make sense. So if it doesn't make sense, I can't do business with it, you know what I mean? I can't sign anything, I can't, you know what I mean? So at this time, what I feel that you guys should do is continue to just be real with it. You know what I mean? Like organic, like you said. Like when I sit here, I don't feel like I'm in an interview. I feel like I'm with a brother.
Yeah,
you know,
having a conversation.
So I'm gonna be upfront and honest about anything you want to talk about. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
for the fans, for the audience, whatever. Who, if you want to ask something personal or whatever, because we're gonna touch on a lot of deep topics today. You know?
Definitely. So it's you know, we're gonna go ahead and segue for a second now. First of all, you listen to WHCR 90.3 FM for those who are listening online and on the station, on the dial. WHCR 90.3 FM, City College, Late Night New York. Gotta plug it in. Shout out to Angela, station manager. I don't want to get cursed out. So now we're gonna dive into something. It was something that happened in New York City recently, you know, within the last few days. Brother with mental health. Actually, the brother that got killed was actually from a few blocks up from where the studio was at, that we at right now. He's from around this area, and you know, I mean, we saw the situation or whatever. So you know, I know you're a heavy mental health advocate. So you know, what's your personal opinion on the situation that happened? And for those who don't know who I'm talking about, if you've been living under a rock, I'm talking about a mentally ill man who's, in my opinion, murdered by an Army veteran.
Yeah, it says Michael Jackson impersonator.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson impersonator.
So when I saw the pictures, he looked familiar through the
pictures.
Yeah,
we used to see him downtown a lot. So you know, what's your personal opinion about how you know the city government treats you know people with mental health?
Being a mental health advocate, it's a deep, touchy topic for me. You know, I've been dealing with in the field for over 15 years, and I worked in the shelter system for over 15 years. I work with the mentally disabled, anyone with mental illness I've dealt with, and over time, a lot of clients used to tell me, like, you don't treat us like everyone else. You treat us like we're human. And I'm like, because you guys are human. I never really looked at anybody and said, okay, no, I don't want to deal with you, not especially as my job.
Facts.
So, you know, fast forward a few years later, that's when I was diagnosed. And I was like, oh, that's why I had a better understanding of them, because I'm one of them. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, go back into what you were saying. I don't want to be biased or anything, because I too suffer from mental health, you know, PTSD, anxiety, and other things as well. I see a therapist once a week. I think that's why my life is so calm at this point.
Dope.
You know, as being a black man, being from Brooklyn, Brownsville to be exact.
Oh,
you
damn,
know, one of the toughest projects in
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Definitely need some therapy. Survive Brownsville, boy.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to everybody from Brownsville too.
Yeah, war veterans. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. But that particular case, I feel like it was extreme force used, and the thing is, a lot of people, if you don't know, you don't know. So it's the ignorance of people not knowing how to, because I can see somebody suffering from mental health from a mile away, and I know how to deal with them.
Facts.
You, a regular person, may want to just punch them in the face and not even understand that they don't even know what's going on. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once everyone gets a better understanding, I'm just grateful enough that I'm able to control this. You get what I'm saying? Because I've done been through some stuff, and I could be lashing out and doing other things, but I'd rather use this as a tool for people to teach people stuff. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
People look at me like, oh, you normal. No, I go through things every day. You know what I mean? I cope by staying busy. My therapist tell me about that too. You know, you to stay busy. So like you said, I'm a jack of all trades. That's why. That's part of the reason why.
That's dope.
Because I'm not busy, my mind will be
go to different places.
So I'd rather stay busy and positive, and then I won't think a lot. You get what I'm saying?
And it's to add on what you're saying, like I've seen you firsthand deal with people with mental health issues and talk them down and get them in a better state mentally or whatever. You know what I mean? So I could definitely co-sign
and what's
that
crazy,
aspect of it.
Appreciate that, bro. What's crazy is at that point I didn't even know I suffered from. When I knew you back then, I didn't know. I got diagnosed maybe 3-4 years ago. You know, that's when I was like, wow.
And then that's dope how you could, because in our community, man, we kind of turn a blind eye to things like this, man. And we bury it, literally, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that, you know what I mean, you man enough to go ahead and put it out there.
That's because that's the way we were raised, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't cry, right?
Yeah,
Men don't cry. You know, I teach my kids a little differently now, you know what I mean? Like, oh, don't be no B word and all of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was raised that way, you know.
Yeah.
I had tough uncles, my pops was around sometime, and that's the way we felt was normal. You know, it's a tough world we live in. You don't want to raise no boy as a girl, you know what I mean? And they can't defend themselves in the real world, so you got to be a little aggressive when raising kids, you know?
But then, you get older and you get the knowledge and understanding and you see that then. I mean, they meant well.
Yeah, but they didn't know.
Like they didn't know neither.
Yeah, they didn't know.
So now it's kind of like, you take the good things that you get good from them and balance it off with the things that you learn for yourself or whatever.
Exactly.
To go ahead and kind of, give them, give your kids the best of both worlds or what have you. So that way they could be balanced.
That's a great way of balancing. That's exactly what I do.
Definitely.
Things that I wasn't taught, I teach my kids. You know what I mean? Things I was taught and I didn't like, I don't teach them that. You know what I mean? Not saying I want them to be perfect, but I want them to be raised in a great way.
You want them to be better than you.
Definitely, way better than me.
And that's the goal of any parent. Any parent wants their kids to go further than them and be better than them or what have you, man. So for the people who our listeners who are going through mental health issues but feel like they can't talk to nobody or feel like they don't have nowhere to turn, what message do you give to them?
I mean, you always have to it's hotlines, it's certain people you can reach out to. Actually, you guys could research some hotlines, post it underneath this,
Facts. Yeah, facts.
Because a lot of people, I never had that opportunity to do so. I was kind of court mandated to go to therapy, and I end up liking it. And then that's when I was like, oh, it was bigger than what I thought it was. I thought I just had anger issues. And I realized, you got anger issues because of this, that, and the third, and it was just bottled up. So, it's just one day at a time, bro.
One day at a time. That's
one day at a time.
That's the best
They could always, people, I'm not even gonna lie to you. People reach out to me, they'll inbox me because I'm open about my mental health, and they'll say, oh, do you have someone I can talk to? You have to go through orientation and stuff, so I can't just give you my therapist number. I can give you where I go, and then you sit down, and they'll refer you to someone. You get what I'm saying? So if you want, also, I gave you guys my Instagram. You could DM me too. I got a lot of different outlets, especially when it comes to mental health.
Now we appreciate that, man, because this needs to be touched on more, especially in our community, because it's kind of like I was raised similar, as far as like we ain't supposed to show no emotion.
Yeah, exactly.
Not realizing that when we get older, that it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to sometimes you gotta let that out. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta cry and keep from killing somebody.
Man, when I cry and I finish, I feel so relieved, man. I just be crying and I be like, I feel better now. You know what I mean? We need that.
Dope.
Definitely need that.
So we definitely gonna leave that information for you guys.
I have honestly, I wouldn't call my social media friends or whatever, I want to call them fans or whatever. My social media friends, that some of them I don't know. And because of what I preach on social media, they feel comfortable enough to hit me up and like I'm going through this, or they'll say, because of you, I'm seeing a therapist now. I had no idea that my
That's
message
beautiful.
or my post reached them. I'm like, wow, you know what I mean?
Shit, that's the power of the voice.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
You never know. I don't do it for that reason, but once I realized I had that power, I'm like, wow.
Let me,
You know what I mean?
let me keep pushing that positivity. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate that, man, because it needs to be talked about. It needs to be talked about more, especially in our community, especially in the entertainment industry, man, because it's a lot of us in the entertainment industry that's going through this shit. And a lot of times we use drugs and liquor and other things to go
cope
ahead
with
to
it,
cope
yeah,
with it
yep.
instead of just actually talking to somebody and trying to get down to the bottom of it, man. So that's definitely a beautiful thing, bro.
You know what's weird now that we're on this topic? When Carlito and I used to talk a lot, and I started realizing that he used to always talk about things that were related to mental health, right? And I'm like, you know what, bro, you need to start talking about that, because you keep talking to me about the same thing. Talk to the world,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
put
Then
that
he
in your
started putting it
songs.
more into his music, and you could just feel it more. Like, you know, I don't know if you could do it, but if you want to plug this, that's a good mental health song. One Day. You know what I mean?
But
But
you didn't send me, send me that song also, because you sent me two other songs, but you didn't send me that song.
Yeah, you know,
Make sure
I
you send
just
that-
thought about the
send that
mental
to
health
me.
thing, and the song that really started off was the joint he got called Letter to My Father.
Father.
That joint, that was more of him venting.
Mm-hmm.
That he used to just vent to me about his father all the time. I'm like, bro, let that out.
That's the authenticity.
Yeah,
he's telling his story.
Yeah, but he was telling me, but I'm like, bro, I even found the beat, that's how deep it was to me, because I'm like, I'm hearing it a lot.
No,
Yo, bro, this is the one, and it is. It's one of those songs too, bro.
good, dope. Nah, man.
Definitely.
She, that's a beautiful thing, because at the end of the day, man, it shows that he's a versatile artist. He's not just in one lane. He can touch on anything. And if you come up in hip hop, I don't care if you black, white, or whatever, you dealing with some type of mental health issues or what have you. Like it's crazy how I was and we gonna go ahead and segue into him more. I was watching something on YouTube, right? Nah, it was on Instagram, and it was a young Palestinian kid. He was like 14, and he was rapping to Shook Ones. Not Shook Ones, Survival of the Fittest. And the boy like rapping his behind off, and you feel his pain. You hear the suffering, you hear the PTSD, you hear whatever, all the mental issues that he's going through. But you know what I mean? He's using hip hop to channel that and go ahead and express his frustrations to the world. You know what I'm saying? So it goes. We a lot of times there's a negative connotation on hip hop nowadays. They don't talk about the positivity side of. A lot of us would be dead or in prison if it wasn't for this culture.
I agree.
So it's just kind of like, you hear about the negativity, and it's like, yeah, we know the negativity, but I want to start focusing more on the positive aspect of what we doing there. That's why I brought you here. One of the reasons, because you always been a positive brother, you always been a solid brother, you always been a down to earth brother, and whatever you go through, you never let that. You keep pushing. You know what I mean? So somebody like you is a definite example. So I definitely want to commend you.
I appreciate you for having me here, bro. This might be a little outlet for me. It might be something I didn't even know I needed.
Definitely.
I actually like to be behind the cameras. You know that?
Yeah, I know that.
You know
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
definitely.
I'm the one directing it and stuff like that. So
And, you definitely moving and shaking behind the scenes, but man, people gotta see you more. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Definitely gotta see you more. So let's get into Carlito. Is that your cousin or?
I mean, we cousins. We found out later on in life that we were related. So
Yeah.
At first, we were cousins.
Yeah, because
now we are.
Because the way y'all bond is not, like you said, it's deeper than just manager, artist or whatever. You could tell that you know what I mean. Y'all just have a strong foundation in brotherhood.
It's more of an understanding. I think, like I said, it's that whole going through things and the PTSD thing, and he thinks like me as well. You know what I mean? That's why it's easier for us to y'all got a lot of different things going on. Touch on the France situation. Let's get more deep in that. I got so many situations right now, bro.
All right, so
shout out to
let's
DJ.
touch on shit that stuff that we can talk about.
No. Shout out to DJ King Flow. He out here right now in the States too. He from France. He just heard one of my artists' song, and from there it was like, and then he started passing it to different DJs out in France.
Dope.
So he invited us out there, but my artist didn't have his passport at the time. So it just came, I think last week actually. But King Flow's here.
Copy. Okay.
So once we get with him here, we'll probably be in France in like another 2 months.
See, that's a good.
You know what I mean? All from social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's a good.
You got good product. and you put it out there, it's going.
So is he producing the whole next project or how?
Nah, I mean we don't know just yet, but they're actually working on an EP that we spoke about.
Copy.
I want to get this video out the way first, and then
Copy.
we got a lot of things going on. So
Say less. So what before we get into this song by Carlito Black, let everybody know what's going what he besides that, what else he's got going on, what's coming next for him.
He got actually this is the top of the year still, and he already dropped 2 EPs. He dropped Emotion of a Gemini.
And where can they get that at?
Everywhere. It's everywhere. Every week we on all streaming platforms. To be honest with you, so and we have Emotions of a Gemini. That's mostly for the ladies. You know what I mean? So he dropped that at the top of the year in January, and then we skipped like a few weeks rather, and then he dropped Real Trench Baby EP.
Showing the versatility once again.
Yeah. And then he'll be putting out a full album in June.
Okay, it's working.
Yeah. That's all we do.
See, consistency is the key. Keep shooting your shot, you know what I mean? And that's why I mess with Carlito, because that boy he on the court every single day.
And he ain't missing though. That's the thing. He can shoot. He ain't missing.
He's Steph Curry with it. I ain't heard a whack verse from him yet.
You might not never hear one.
I'm a Bronx guy, so you know what I mean. If his verse was whack, I'll let you know. I ain't heard a whack verse from that dude, not yet.
You gotta see him in person.
So salute. We definitely gonna line that up. Salute to Carlito Black and everything he's doing. By the way, you listen to WACR 9.3 FM, WACR 9.3 FM, Late Night New York, Late Night New York. Gotta throw that in there. So we about to get into this single. You sent me 2 joints.
I definitely did. I don't even know. I got so many
Struggle.
songs. Struggle and Hustle.
Struggle.
We got
Hustle.
a video for that one, so I definitely send you Struggle and Hustle. And
I like it. I didn't listen to the other joint, but
Struggle and Hustle.
But Struggle and Hustle was the one that kind of.
Actually, I wouldn't know because I think Lito sent them to you. Did he send you the tracks?
Was that you? I thought that was you.
He didn't email them to you?
I thought that was you. Somebody sent it to me. I thought that came from you though.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Well, whoever sent it, it was Struggle and Hustle. I didn't listen to the second joint. I'm not gonna lie. So we gonna get into Struggle Hustle, right. And then we gonna play the second joint right afterwards.
All right. By then I know what song it is.
So you know what I mean. Go. So before we close out, give them Carlito's information where they can find Carlito. If there's any merch, anything like that, tell them the website or what have you. Give them your information one more time or what have you before we sign out and get into the song.
All right, my name is Nakstarz, NAKSTARZ, the number 1 at the end. That's where you can find me at on Instagram, the @ sign in front, of course. I'm Carlito Black. You can find it at IMTHEREAL, the real Carlito Black. I'm the real Carlito Black. On Instagram, it's Carlito REYJEFE, Hefe, Ray Hefe, Black. You can find them there.
And for those who's watching, you're gonna see it everything at the bottom of the screen.
And also the link is in our bio. If you want to see anything that we got going on, just go to Carlito's bio and click the link. You have everything, merch and whatever else you need to see.
Salute to Paparazzi TV behind the scenes for doing the filming. We live and direct. Zone 6 Studio. Shout out to my man Mike. Without further ado, we're gonna get into it. WACR 90.3 FM, Late Night New York. Let's get it. I appreciate you, my brother.
You already know, bro.
Let's work.